Deltarune Chapter 2 is as peak as games come. It builds upon every aspect of the first part to create an entertaining, hilarious collage of moments that made me laugh out loud multiple times during this replay.
Since chapters 3 and 4 are only a week away,
here's my review and recap of Chapter 2. The morning in the town functions similarly to the last. Chris eats all the pie, then goes to school. Here we're introduced to a couple more classmates not before emphasized, since they will be coming to the Dark World with us this time around. Birdley is the book-smart, socially clueless guy, and Noelle is, well, the main victim of that. Don't worry though, she gets plenty of character development. Since the first Dark World is closed, going into the closet will only bring you to the castle town, and everyone from Chapter 1 is living a happy life. It's great to talk to every single monster since the tiny conversations you can have with them correspond to their battle text to create a character out of each and every one. There are rooms specifically made for Chris, Susie, and Lancer. It's impossible to go over everything in this town, and I highly encourage you to explore it for yourself. When you leave to go to the library, Lancer and rules turn into cards in Chris's pocket, where they remain for a while. The fun begins in the library. Entering the Dark World, wires reacclimate you to the bullet hell style dodging of attacks, and introduce the new computer lab theme. Noelle gets trapped in a cage by the best character in all of gaming and my Discord profile picture, Queen. Her existence is the main reason this Deltarune chapter is so much better than the first one. Don't even mind the improved systems, which I'll touch upon later. Queen is a computer, smart, as she emphasizes. A computer with a very basic evil world domination plan. Only Toby Fox could write a plot so generic so perfectly. Segue into tutorial fight. I'm glad this game assumed I was already familiar with the basic game mechanics. The one new in-battle feature highlighted here is the mercy bar. It is very clear how close you are to being allowed to spare the enemy. Speaking of, not sparing will have permanent consequences from now on, as killed enemies cannot be recruited to join the town, so I'll be avoiding killing at all costs. My favorite music in the game is introduced along with this trio of music player themed characters we'll get to meet in a bit. The beat drop is just perfect and really cemented my engagement with the game world. It persists until you encounter an enemy, but I could sit back and relax listening to this one for hours. The inability of a computer to understand human thoughts and emotion is conveyed perfectly in Queen. She does not understand what is scary about becoming her willing peon, and that a cool robot face is not on Noelle's bucket list. Okay, now it's time for a top 10 hardest video game bosses in the world moment. We're gonna need to pull out all the stops for this one. Rouse lays on the floor to help us reach the controls. Chris and Susie join hands together to make their button presses on the arcade machine deal more damage. After a long and harrowing battle, the heroes prevail. We do a few puzzles for this hacker guy. He says he may be able to point out a secret passageway in Queen's mansion. Wonder if that's important. We then fight the music trio from before and get them to dance. They play considerably more boring music this time though. Once Rouse and Susie learn how to dance too, the music trio aren't exactly opposed to being friends. The big bad Queen shows up again. She has 3 cages remaining, and surely she won't miss with every single one. And she brings out her absolute best team member who is sure to destroy you. Or so he thinks. Birdley explains how he's going to rule the world with Queen and how she is very trustworthy. Birdley thinks he'll win the battle by driving directly in the way of oncoming coasters. Over and over again. We then fall down due to unforeseen circumstances into a pile of junk. It seems nobody can keep track of their teammates these days. First of all, Rouse and Susie left to go the other way, and Noelle is hiding from Queen, who is hiding from Birdley. Chris helps everyone and no one. I really hope the next chapters have moments like this where we could just have fun experiencing dialogue. Alright, it's Noelle time. The annoying mouse rooms are pretty easy. We, with the enemy's help for some reason, teach Noelle how to act and spare. I guess this means that the enemies in this game are pretty self-conscious they're being spared. This truce scene just goes on with Noelle hiding in cardboard, Birdley thinking Queen likes him still, and Queen not recognizing Noelle without the robot face, because technology, I guess. Birdley gets all mad and attacks again. This fight is not too special, mostly because it does not contain Queen. We get confirmation that the computer face recognition can't recognize Noelle's other face. I drive trying not to hit any cars, but I think I hit one by accident. So, no car recruit for me. Chris, get the banana! Spamton is here now, and he spouts random gibberish. You have to get some quiz questions right to win his fight. They're pretty redundant, but Spamton's an important character for later. Then the music stops as we get dropped some Noelle lore. The word December is significant as she tells us the story of her family, who don't seem to all be around anymore. Reunited with the party, Noelle gets to help in this catching minigame, which is fairly simple and streamlined. All the while, Queen's mansion is in sight. Okay, I guess she retrieved her cages since her last appearance. We got trapped in our own AI-generated rooms, but luckily we still have Lancer sitting in our pocket. We're able to release him and he frees us by overloading the computer. Damn, all this computer stuff is really down to earth, huh? Berdly watches us do several puzzles. Of course, he is very smart and could easily do them, but wants to give Chris the challenge. How nice of him. Yeah, I think you understand this character by now. He tells the story from his own point of view of how he won the spelling bee. Again, we come back to the word December. Noelle falls to the floor when she hears it, and Berdly is just certain that's because she couldn't spell the word. Inside the mansion, we meet the hacker again, and he reveals a secret passageway to us. We can't do anything down here yet without an item from our pal Spamton. We head back down and Spamton appears again, in a new form. Thankfully, Susie and Rouse hear the commotion and come down to help. Just like in Chapter 1, the secret boss is easily the most fun combat of the game. With the addition of the Mercy Bar, you know how much longer you have to last, and this fight, just like Jevil, was easier than I remembered. I guess my gamer skill has improved since I last played. These attack patterns are all fun to deal with. The dialogue is very memeable. Pippus. I generally tried to stick to Rousey's healing, and only needed to use Spin Cake and one other healing item to push through. With all the wires snapped, Spamton's artificial life comes to an end. Queen now asks us to painstakingly search every platter for a key, but the developer himself, Tobias Foxworth, saves the day and just zooms and destroys all of them. Oh yeah, I don't think I talked about these teacup sections before. You're more likely to die on these than any fights in the game, especially Spamton's teacups. Fun little minigames though. Next we ride on a swan with Rousey, and our favorite character from Chapter 1, Rules Card, appears after a heartfelt chat with Rousey. The duck machine from before is here. The duck better carry through to every Deltarune chapter or it's not worth the $25. A pretty easy puzzle battle where you just have to block rules off like that one board game. Blockus, I think? Then he turns to Scone and yells, "God damn it!" Seems familiar. We then get to listen in on Susie and Noelle, who might at some point admit that they like each other. Maybe? But Susie seems content to tell Noelle everything's a dream. Then Berdly flies in. And yeah, they have a bit of an awkward interaction. This Noelle dialogue sprite is the best thing ever. Just look at it. Alright, it's Attack of the Killer Queen, the third best track in the game time. This fight just kinda takes a while. You take down her shield and get a chance to fill the Mercy Bar, which repeats a few times before you're done. It's alright. Queen then makes a brilliant move that would checkmate Magnus. Well, Queen ran off to her giant mech. Luckily we have one of our own, and it's a duck! The real final boss is a nice callback to the beginning, and I have a duck! It's also very easy because I have a duck! I don't have enough to say about this fight, so let's see how many times I can say duck in 5 seconds. Duck, 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 duck. Oh, nice, we win. It turns out Queen didn't know her evil plan would destroy the world. So, I guess that's cleared up. Yay! We destroy the Dark Fountain as usual. Editor me here, did I seriously just say Duck Fountain? Queen returns to Castletown. Just as before, I can't possibly go over every Castletown interaction right now. You really should just play it for yourself. Back home, Susie sleeps over and Chris does another weird soul rip-out thing. And it looks like Chapter 3's Dark Fountain will be inside the house? This is pretty much the end, and I'm so excited for Chapters 3 and 4. I just found out the $25 we'll be paying for Deltarune is actually for all the chapters. Chapters 5 and onwards will apparently be free updates for the paid version of Deltarune, according to its Steam description. Did anybody else catch this? Well anyways, thanks for watching, and subscribe for a Weird Out video next week. The video's done, but I've got a bonus feature for you guys. Courtesy of my thumbnail artist, watch this time lapse of the art process. His channel will be linked in the description.